And we're live. Welcome to Tuesday night, Beers with Bad Company. We finally have my very good friend, Uncle John, back in the house, which is fantastic.
What's up? What's going on, buddy?
Well, just sitting here having a couple of pints on a Tuesday night. So, speaking of pints on a Tuesday night, if you're a minor, don't drink on YouTube. It's against the law. Everybody else, bottoms up.
Beautiful.
Now, John, we have missed you, my friend. What have you been up to? Give us a breakdown.
Oh, man, I've been. How long has it been? It's probably been two months, over 2 months, maybe.
Oh, you just look back and see whenever the whole javelin incident happened.
Right. So it must have been. I can't even remember how long ago that was. So basically, I was just like, fuck arm wrestling. It's kind of where I was at.
Everybody gets there whenever fucking everything gets turned on them. You know, you get all up in your feels real quick, real easy.
Yeah.
You know, all of the hard work you put in to grow your channel, grow your brand, grow your business. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you see that number start dropping down because they're idiots and they don't understand.
Well, look, to each their own. For me, it was I'm probably going to sound like a Bowen repeater here, but it was a very good learning experience of how shit works. We're just old dudes, right? Like, we are not the children of a time where the internet existed. So now to kind of understand just kind of how the whole thing rolls has been quite enlightening, I would say.
I do enjoy that you are embracing the whole javelin now.
Well, that's the thing. Because you go through this process, and I thought about all these different things and how to like spur it on, and there was a lot of people who kind of were talking to me, and they were like, but are you gonna go? Are you gonna like double down on this? What do you do? Blah 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 blah. And I didn't know I was seriously very, very close to being done. But
like with arm wrestling.
Yeah, just like, oh man, what am I doing? I'm just hurting all the time and just got to deal with this bullshit. But
then you realize that you love it. You can't walk away that easy.
Look, it's way harder than you imagine, right? Well, not you, but like people in general. It's way harder to let it go. To let it go. Once you have that amount of time, it's just like, what the fuck? You're in the cult. You're in the cult.
Yeah, arm wrestling just gets embedded into you. Like that's it. You're stuck.
Yeah. So I kind of had this realization. I was still pretty down on everything as I went into Arm Wars and this trip that I had, this monster trip. And it was really good because it's really hard to not want to do everything that's awesome when you're in a house with awesome arm wrestlers, right? It's just like 25, 30 people, and all any of us do is arm wrestle and beat ourselves up and yada, yada, yada. That's all we do. So you get in that zone. I got to meet Marcus. I got to meet Fox. I got to meet Phil Woody. We do the event in Whitby. It's fucking amazing. And so, I get back home and, there will be a lot of changes on the channel, but it's definitely going to keep on in some form or fashion.
Good. That is wonderful news. It makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. That could be the beer, but, I'm feeling pretty happy about it right now. Now, when you're at Arm Wars doing this Iron House shit, how long are you in the house for before you get to pull?
This time I got there. Most people got there on Friday, and we were pulling on Saturday.
Okay, that's not bad. Because I would hate to fucking be stuck in this house for like 2-3 days with this son of a bitch. And I just want to arm wrestle right now.
Aha.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I arm wrestled for 9 days in a row.
Afterwards.
Including. So.
Yeah. But that day on, not before, leading up to it.
Right. 9 days in a row.
Yeah, I saw that. Fox got the sneaky one on you.
Oh yeah. Drove me right inside. Just turned me in and pow, right in there. It was good. It was good.
You should have javelined the fuck out of him at some point.
Man, he was lucky. He was lucky. It was coming, but I don't want to look. Every time the javelin comes out, it's got to be a king of the table. Like I got to do it to Larry Wheels, or somewhere where it really, really counts.
Go do it to the VOD.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hurt Devin. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I'll see Devin in November, and I'm sure he's gonna want a very detailed walkthrough of the finer points of javelinism, as I have come to call it.
I may try to pull one of those javelins off at the Ottawa Open.
Excellent.
So you can commentate somebody doing your own move.
Right. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I will be at the Ottawa Open commentating. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of craziness going on there. Do you know if it's getting live streamed anywhere at all?
I have no idea, but I mean, I'm sure Devin's going to be live.
Yeah. So I will be there. Evan will be there. Devin will be there. I think John Milne will probably be there. Like
Most
Eric
likely.
Racine. I mean, the boys are going to be there. So if you're in anywhere in Ontario or outside, you want to come in, this is the one. Guys.
There's always a very heavy Quebec presence at Eric's events too.
Yes.
Because Montreal is only an hour and a half from them. So it's always a good event that Eric runs. And like, he does it all fancy, right? So you know how everybody fucking forgets to go tell the scorekeeper, hey, I'm so-and-so, I just won my match.
Yeah.
Right. And then the scorekeeper's got to try to sort all this shit out, and you're yelling through the crowd, hey, who the fuck was that the one that Eric's got a giant stack of $5 bills sitting on that score table. You come over, you tell them that you just won your match, and you get to take one of those son of a bitches home, put it right in your pocket.
See? Smart guy. Eric Racine is probably the smartest guy that also arm wrestles. Like,
as long as we don't let Bowen and RVJ score their own IQs.
Obviously, they are outliers, so they don't count.
If they have to take the same IQ test as everybody else and not just give you whatever number they want, then right. Eric might still be in the lead.
It'd be 55 instead of 155. James Statham's doing me a solid here, I see. He says, I'll tell you what John did do. John arrived on Friday and drank a liter of whiskey. That is true.
Before?
The night before.
Why the fuck would you do that? Even I don't do that.
Look, this is my third Arm Wars, right? This is my third Arm Wars. And I've spent a lot of time with Cobra Rhodes. And I have found that I actually function a little better when I'm not so fucking nervous and anxious and wound up about the match.
Right. I mean, I tried to convince you about this drinking thing like a long time ago.
I just had to find it out for myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I found the error of my ways.
I wouldn't do it the night before per se, though. The day of, a little sippy poo there, take a little edge off, just enough to not give a fuck. You're still pretty well sober, just a little hum, a little glow, and we don't care. We're not nervous. We don't give a fuck. We're still solid mind enough to get up there and do exactly what we want to do. We can think our way through everything. All good.
Yeah.
Just don't give a fuck. I wish I could plug the Jean Lajoie video about try not giving a fuck. Not to be confused with not giving a shit.
Right.
It's very different. Very,
very different. Who do we got here? Let me say some people. Marcus is here. Marcus, White Wolf, King Hoddle, Schmo, Petrello, Captain Obvious, Roy Baker. Marcus says Uncle John is a big whiskey drunk, but it's English measures, not Irish. Well, that's interesting that he brings that up, because I did converse with Marcus. I also conversed with Paul Maiden, and it appears that you will be starring in a man-on-man pornographic adventure film with him in Ireland in January. That's the information I got from Paul.
Yeah, so that's what Paul's plan is. He just doesn't know that I'm the pitcher, not the catcher yet. That's all.
Now I see.
Because once I fucking what Marcus's big ass, Paul ain't even gonna try to fight back. He's just gonna turn around, bend over, drop trout, and say, "Please be gentle, sir."
Marcus is way bigger than you. He's
Maybe.
big. He's big. He's a
Oh,
big
I've seen
guy.
him. He's a big dude. But he's fat.
Yeah, well, it's just
He's way fatter than me too.
I don't know how fat you are right now exactly. I gotta wait till I see you. And
I mean, I'm 240.
yeah, so that's
So,
pretty lean for you. That's pretty good.
I was pretty fat the first time we pulled. I was like 288.
Yeah,
When we pulled in Halifax, I was only 255.
yeah.
And now I'm like 15 pounds less than that.
So you're solid. You're solid. So he's probably he weighs more than you for sure.
I got like a half an ab up on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Although Marcus will kick your fucking ass with his fancy Italian fucking leather boots, I'll tell you that much. This guy walks in style, ladies and gentlemen. Style.
Well, I don't have style. I wear fucking dirty old sweatpants.
Well, that is
Work
a style. I will give you that. I will give you that. It's the crazy George chic.
I love Crazy George. That fucking t-shirt of
Best.
his, I want that when he goes.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do though. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too worried about anything that Marcus is fucking trying to do. I'm gonna sit around, I'm gonna drink all my beers more than him, and I'm just gonna grow a bigger, better beard.
Well, you do have that. You do have that. I think it's likely. I'm gonna go, as the Aussie arm wrestler would say, I'm gonna go the early crow. And I'm gonna say that two things are gonna happen in Ireland if you don't get COVID.
Ooh, yeah, that's a real thing.
Right?
How the fuck am I gonna fake COVID now though? I've been racking my brain on how to fake COVID now that they don't give a shit.
You gotta like get detained.
How do you get COVID whenever COVID's gone?
I don't know. We gotta bring it back, man. Monkeypox, maybe. That might help. That might help.
I'll figure something out.
So two things are gonna happen. I mean, multiple things are gonna happen, like getting really, really drunk. Lots of good stuff is gonna happen. But the two main things is, one, Marcus is gonna flip you real hard. And two, Paul Maiden is probably going to beat the piss out of you on the table too.
No.
I think he might.
I can't see it. It's not happening. All right. We got a super chat in here from White Wolf. So Evan and Uncle John, what non-Canucks don't understand is that milk is sold in a bag in Canada. Why the fuck can't they sell whiskey in bags, straw included? Well, they can if you go to the right store.
Yeah, you got to go to the right store. You know, we had wine bag parties at one point when we were very young, and we would get a box of Franzia, take the bag out of the box and hang it up, and then, you know, bag wine, slap the bag. Everybody loves slapping the bag.
I just can't do red wines.
Yeah, it's we I don't remember what we did, but it was painful the next day, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I get a headache from red. Like before I'm even done my first glass, it's
brutal.
I guess I'm allergic to something in the red wines. It's fairly common though.
Huh.
Roy Baker says that I should just tell them at the border that I'm having HIV related issues.
Well, then you could be, I mean, that's telling the truth too. So
yeah, you just cut yourself. They ain't letting you go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So you think Marcus is going to kick my ass, and then Paul Maiden is going to kick my ass, and then the flight is also going to kick my ass.
Yep. That's 3 for 3, buddy.
Like, why would I even go then?
Oh, because it's going to be real fun for you other than those things.
But those don't sound like fun at all.
No, but the amount of booze that we're going to drink is definitely going to be fun.
So you're going to be there?
I am right now absolutely 100% planning to be there.
Who are you pulling?
It is yet to be determined, and Marcus is my manager now, so I'll have to get the all clear from him before anything else. But I have called out some people, or I am in the process of calling out. So you know who the big one is that I'm going to call out? Now that I am I'm a seasoned pro at handling strong men, world's strongest men, right?
Seasoned pro. So does that mean you beat Frampton?
On the well, both my matches were on the live.
Oh, I haven't seen the live. I have no idea.
Well, I won't. They'll probably spoil it for you in the chat. But good matches, interesting matches. I pulled Peter Frampton and I pulled not Peter Frampton, Peter Frampton, Rob Frampton. Peter Frampton.
I was just going to let that go.
I pulled Rob Frampton.
I'd like to see you arm wrestle Peter Frampton.
Right? He's got the talk box in. Drew, you real. So Rob Frampton, and then I pulled Big Laws as well.
Nice.
And so those results are public. There, we can talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it for you if you want to watch them.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch it.
I
still haven't got a chance to see it live. Fucking life's been busy.
Yeah.
I haven't got to watch YouTube. I haven't been following like any of Devin's stuff, any of Ozzy's, and normally I always watch. I still haven't even seen the fucking Bogdan and Bowen match.
Yeah. It's good.
Right?
Good.
So I have been way fucking behind on like everything.
Yeah. So a lot has happened. I can say that. A lot happened in that 1 week period of time. So back to what I was saying about calling people out. Since I felt Rob Frampton, I felt Big Laws, I know what these guys are, and I don't think it's a good idea to put a guy like, let's say, Eddie Hall against RVJ. RVJ will murder these guys. It's not going to be close.
Yeah, the WAL wanted to do it.
Right.
I want to pull Eddie Hall.
That's why I am now the world's strongest man killer.
That's fantastic.
Right?
Neil was trying to set me up with Eddie Hall for an Arm Wars match.
It would be good. Like we could, here's the thing. There's a lot to be chewed on there because we could be like the guys that go and fuck up the super duper strongmen, right?
We'll just like get on planes and show up to these fucking gyms full of these giant jacked fucking dudes and fuck them up.
What's up, bro?
Yeah. You can have the left, I'll take the right, we'll just smash them all.
Done and done. But
Just go on a Wapathon tour.
Eddie Hall is going to get whooped at Arm Wars. I have a very strong feeling that I'm going to be able to get my hands on him.
I wanted Eddie Hall
really soon,
more for the build-up fun, because that guy can talk some shit.
Oh my god!
Like did you hear the shit talking whenever Neil called Rob?
Yes.
So he was live with Eddie Hall, and he calls Rob in.
Yeah.
Then they had to play 20 questions to see if Rob could figure out who they were talking to.
I do remember that. Back in the good old days of early live streaming internet.
Well, I don't even know if that was live. I think they may have recorded that and posted it out afterwards. Maybe. I think that was one of the WAL podcast things. But yeah, Neil wanted to see me and Eddie just because of how much fun that would be when you got two dudes that don't give a fuck and both like talking shit.
Right.
He's like, I just don't know how we could do it, like any type of press conference with the two of you in the same room with the amount of shit you'll talk to each other. Like, because Eddie will fight you. And I have a feeling you're not going to back down just because he's fucking really big and strong.
No, of course not. Because here's the thing. The thing that's fun is that Eddie gets it. Right? You can just, a guy like you and I, just big fucking shitheads that just our whole lives are dedicated to being shitheads, we can spot other shitheads real quick. And Eddie is a fucking shithead. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, I love Eddie. Eddie's awesome.
So we will see what the future brings for all of that. But I'm telling you, for all of these strongmen guys that come in, there's business to be done. There's business to be done for those guys.
Yeah, well, if they're interested in doing this, you know, I don't understand why they would. Why would you want to get your arms torn apart by a tiny little dude half your fucking size? And you trust me, nobody wants to lose ever, but you really don't want to lose to me. You know?
Terrible idea.
I go out of my way to rub your face in the shit if you're
But
losing to me.
This is why it's okay, because in the storyline of the universe, people are going to start to understand. Oh, nice, very nice. People are going to start to understand that, like, oh, but it's his first arm wrestling match, so you can't even expect him to win, but we'll just see how he does and blah blah blah. So they're protected by the fact that they're new in the sport. We got to get to them when they're new, like less than a year or less, because as soon as they figure it out, then fuck off with that. I don't want any part of it. I only want them when they don't know what they're doing.
Right. Like, I think my window of wanting to arm wrestle Larry is like,
it's getting very, very narrow.
Yeah, like, it's not that much fun anymore. Now I'm actually gonna have to arm wrestle. It's gonna be competitive. It's gonna be a lot harder to talk shit when the dude's that fucking strong. He still doesn't have a fucking gas tank. So
right.
As long as we're not doing a 2 out of 3, I'll still do it. But
yeah. Oh God,
it's just hard to talk a little. It's not that hard. I can still talk shit after losing a few rounds as long as I know I'm coming back and winning the rest.
Yeah.
But Larry's getting a lot better.
Yeah, he looks good. I just cut a pretty scathing video of how he was fucking pro cheating on Khaled in their little practice match.
What do you got in that?
Well, the fact that everybody is shitting on Khaled, but look, I think it could be very, very easy for Khaled to beat Schoolboy if he takes advantage of a few things that he's got going for him. The rules, Evan. What is the basis of King of the Table rules? When Bill Collins talks about the rules, he's like, if you just think about the rules as being this organization's rules, you'll be just fine.
Okay.
WAF.
Yeah. Your standard. Yeah.
WAF. Now, if we go back and we look at Schoolboy versus Khaled the first time around, like what, a year and a half ago, something like that.
Oh, don't take anything out of that fucking bullshit practice whenever Schoolboy is tired of beat the shit.
No. Khaled had full dominant hand control. Right. His hand is a motherfucker. Exactly. In WAF, what happens if you intentionally slip?
I understand. I don't think Schoolboy needs straps to beat him.
Yes, of course he does.
He absolutely does not.
Does.
Schoolboy will go like this with him.
I did see in Schoolboy's video, all he was training was his hook and his cup.
So whenever he was supposed to be pulling me, I'm pretty sure, because I talk so much shit, that he was coming out there with the intention of banging hook with me. You watch the match with him and Herman?
Yeah.
And all hook.
Hook. Yeah.
I don't think he was training anything but, which would have made it fun because I wasn't training my hook at all. I was all hand trying to get ready for Schoolboy.
Right.
So with the amount of effort he's put in and the growth I've seen in not only his hook, but his hook set, I think he throws Khaled into a hook easy and dumps him. No problem.
You're also forgetting that Khaled is a violent man. Violent.
Right.
This is a guy who kicked somebody in the face, in the head bones.
Illegally.
Now, I'm not saying something like that is going to happen in this match, but let's say Khaled does get that hand control, does get that riser to bust down, and puts Schoolboy in a position he doesn't want to be in, and he really jacks him up early on, round 1, round 2, and he puts some damage on that hand, on that wrist. Because, like, look, have we really seen Khaled at a really super angry place? Have we ever seen that?
Yeah, when he kicked the guy in the face.
Right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying something that happens within the rules that puts damage, because this is what the last time they met.
Javelin.
It was all like this. It was all like this.
You need to teach Khaled the javelin.
Look,
A fucking hand like that knows how to javelin properly? Dude
Khaled,
ain't gonna come back for round 2, 3, or 4 when his arm's in half.
Khaled would be very wise to watch that match very carefully. There is no bad sports rule in King of the Table.
No, there's no unsportsmanlike.
There's no unsportsmanlike rule.
None. There is a WAF.
Well, that's just the underpinnings, right? Is that,
Yeah, but I mean, that's in the rules of WAF. It ain't in King of the Table.
Right. So look, let's just be serious for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. After you've heard this discussion, now that you know the facts, now that you know that the Cameroonian king's hand is goddamn almost impenetrable, tell me you won't go to armbet.net and back that up.
No.
Armbet.net.
We're going to have to agree to disagree and just understand that I'm normally right.
Hey, when Khaled is sitting atop the throne of skulls with Schoolboy and
he's
Alex
not
Topol,
even fucking trading.
he doesn't need to.
He's got a
He
fight the day before.
He
He's gonna
is
show
a
up with a broken
natural
hand from the
wonder
fucking
of the
fight.
world. He's the 10th wonder of the world. The Cameroonian king, Khaled Jashel.
What's the
Mark
ninth?
my words. He may win if he takes advantage of all the things I just said.
Okay, what's the 9th wonder of the world?
I don't know.
What's the 8th wonder of the world?
Something in like under the water Atlantis, maybe.
No, the 8th wonder of the world came from France.
Oh, you know what the 9th wonder of the world is? China.
So what's the 8th?
Blue whale?
Bigger than China.
No, not China the country. China the
Right. So what's the 8th wonder of the world?
Oh, Andre.
How the fuck are you the wrestling guy here?
This is that's a
yes.
big part of it.
I get it. Speaking of wrestling, I just bought the new wrestling game. What is it? WWE 2K22?
K22?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my son's real big into the wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So we've been playing that like crazy. And I just we unlocked Andre the Giant.
Yep.
And now my kid's mad at me that I won't use anybody else.
Every match is an Andre match.
Every one. Every
Hell
fucking
in a
one.
cell with Andre.
Look, I want to win. Andre doesn't lose.
That's a good game. It's a really good game. I got it when it came out and I played it a whole bunch. And I haven't played it for a bit, but it is fun. You got to go through the story mode with Rey Mysterio? Oh, it's fucking good.
I haven't done any of the story mode. It's straight into the my faction, so he can unlock all of his fucking diamond cards that he wants. And I like playing the GM.
Dude, the GM mode is awesome, except for the fact that last time I had to quit playing it because it fucking froze like halfway through every single fucking time.
Oh, I never had it freezing at all. I didn't buy the disc. I just download like the digital download.
Yeah.
So you can just uninstall, reinstall, no problem. But the GM mode's just too easy because you could just physically play the matches yourself and you're guaranteed a 5-star match in every one.
If you want to dedicate that kind of time, yes, that is true.
But I don't want to play any of them. I just like to see what my my thinker does.
Yeah, I love it. It's super fun. Super fun.
Yeah. So you actually think Colin's going to beat Schoolboy? And then what? Bones just going to run through him?
What I actually think is that if the rules are adhered to as WAF style rules for intentional slips, I think Khaled has a very good chance of getting wins just by that alone. Also, if Khaled becomes violent in a constructive way that damages Schoolboy early on, I think he can also have success. Because look, we're talking about the tippy top of the spear here. This is like, is this win at all costs? Is this what is King of the Table? What should be happening here? Because if
if Khaled was an actual arm wrestler with the gifts that he has, okay, I can see it. but he's not.
He doesn't need to be.
He gives no fucks about actually learning how to use this properly.
Which is why the violence is so important and likely.
But
It's
he doesn't care. Can't see it happening. Schoolboy hooks him, crushes him. Bowen does the same.
I think that Bowen beats him for sure because he won't be able to go. He won't be able to go. But I think Khaled will be done after Schoolboy, whether he wins or loses. I think
I don't think it really matters which order they do those matches in. I think Khaled gets 6-0 by both. Either way.
I don't think so. I think, well, let me not say that. Let me say it is a possibility that if the rules are followed the way I described, that Khaled has a very possible good chance of possibly winning that match.
How many times are you going to throw in those like possible maybes?
Look, I'm not here to tell you what you should do. I'm just here to tell you what you can do. And what you can do is be on the Cameroonian King's side in this little kerfuffle coming up on October 1st called King of the Table 5.
Do they already have that on Airbet?
Yeah.
We got to get me and Paul Maiden on there.
Oh, for sure. Dude, it would be highly, highly, highly bet upon.
I just can't see any fucking way that guy can beat me. Now, I am very, very aware of who Paul Maiden was.
Oh, shit.
And I know that Paul Maiden isn't that anymore. He's not. He is a fraction of what he used to be. Yeah, maybe 5/8, but yep. it's still a fraction. He's not what he was, and he never will be again. He's old, he's fat, and he's not as fast or as strong. He's just okay. Not.
I gotta say,
I will beat the very best version that has ever been. So he's showing up fucked already.
Whoa. I will say this. The last time I saw him, all the things you just said were true. This time, he was slightly less fat.
Slightly less fat. It's great.
He was quite a bit less fat, actually. He's quite a bit less fat.
Man, he was damn near ready to star on My 600-Pound Life. Like, that dude just gave up.
You know have you ever seen his tattoos?
Have I ever seen what?
Some of Paul's tattoos.
No.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you about them because you got to see them for yourself in real life. But some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Shit that you would not believe.
He might have funny tattoos. There's just no way he's going to win the match. Like,
look, I can say this. Paul,
I get it. You're a hype guy. You're a hype guy.
Very strong. He seems very strong. But here's what's more important. You guys are probably actually right there with each other. But I will tell you this. Paul is in the zone. Paul is like, he's been reborn or something weird happened to him because he's like out. He's got his dick out and he's showing it off to everybody. And he's just like,
well, that's not new. It's Paul.
Sounds like your brother.
But I'll tell you this, John. My right hand is far better than my left has ever been.
Wow.
Yeah. It's all right hand. That's all I'm worried about is fucking crushing Paul. And my right hand, easily the best it's ever been. Far better than my left has ever been. I'm not showing up to win this match. I am fucking crushing this dude.
Sound like Craig Mark.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see Evan Burgoyne take on Paul Maiden, Mighty Paul is what some people call him. I call him Tiny Penis Paul.
Used to be Mighty Paul Maiden.
Used to be Mighty Paul Maiden.
Oh my God. You know what? You go after all of these fucking strong men and fucking giant dudes. I'm going to go on a has-been whooping tour. Paul Maiden, Neil Pickup, they can all get it.
That is a really good idea, actually. I really, really like that a lot.
Let's just fly around and find strong men and has-beens to fucking beat up.
The Strong Men and Has-Beens tour.
A has-been strong
fuck.
man whooping tour.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
I'm in.
Michael Todd version 24.0 with the super chat says, I heard Bowen found pancakes under Toddzilla's desk that he ate to get the power to win his last match.
That wasn't pancakes. That was Todzilla's wiener.
You heard it here first, folks.
Bowen was the one actually under the desk whenever Todzilla, that whole blowgate.
Yeah. I forgot about Blowgate.
So, either way, you are just out of your fucking mind. Like, are you trying to convince people that it's a good idea that Paul has a chance at winning this fucking match?
Look, I think that anyone who has a brain in their head should be very excited for Ireland in January. Arm Gods. Go to armgods.com right now. Put your email in there because that's who's going to be hosting this nonsense. Evan Burgoyne versus Marcus Thompson in a, what kind of, is it a judo match? Is it a fuck each other up match? Is it a
Drunk wars?
It's Drunk Wars, ladies and gentlemen. That
Yeah.
is worth the price of admission already. And then Evan thinks he's going to be able to beat up Marcus Thompson, which I'm more sure of that than anything in my life, other than the fact that Khaled could potentially possibly beat Schoolboy.
You are very sure that he could potentially possibly do it.
I am so certain of that. Exactly. Yes.
How fucking high are you?
All the way, I think. All the way.
Fantastic. Now look, Marcus Thompson, to beat him up, the dude is legitimate fucking kickboxer. I do not think I could stand and kickbox with him. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
The dude is a legitimate fucking world level judokan. I do not think I can do judo with him. He challenged me to a wrestling match.
Ah, I see.
That is not the same thing. I have done some wrestling against world champions from judo.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not fare out anywhere near as well as they originally think. It's not the same sport.
Did you ever, what was judo Steven Seagal or what? That was
Aikido.
Oh, yeah.
That was the ancient martial art of fighting against people that have a sword when you do not.
Right.
Right. Super relevant. That's why Steven Seagal was able to teach Anderson Silva so much. Because Anderson Silva was learning how to fight guys that had swords when he didn't.
Marcus Thompson says judo rules in the wrestling match.
Now, is he saying that judo rules, or he wants to wrestle under judo rules?
He'll have to specify that.
The specificity of the specifics were never specified here.
Right. But I am certain that those specifics are possibly exactly, potentially,
Maybe.
might be a good thing to start thinking about sometime soon. Potentially.
What if we create our new rule set and we'll call it Drunk Jitsu?
Drunk Jitsu. What is the key? What is the core tenet of Drunk Jitsu? Like, what is the philosophy?
So, you know how the legal blood alcohol limit is 0.08?
Yeah.
You must be at least a 0.3 to compete.
Right. So it's a minimum. You have to ascend.
Right. And that's only to get into round one. It's got to go up if you want to, even if you win your match, you still get kicked out if blood alcohol content doesn't go up. So we're going to have to deal with that. And then, basically the judges are going to be as drunk or drunker than the competitors. So the rule set's kind of fucking hazy because no one's actually going to care or pay attention. We're just going to fuck each other up till somebody pukes and then you win puke wars.
Puke Wars. So this is like a multi-attraction event here that's going to be going on.
Right. But I mean, Marcus has to be able to keep up drinking first.
I think he can. So in the UK, you just like buy all of your alcohol at the grocery store, like hard stuff, beer stuff, whatever, it's right there. So we go, and Marcus bought like all of the beer, like all the beer from the entire beer aisle. He took all of it. He just took it all, and then
Okay.
got me like bottles of Jack Daniels, and then it all got drank. And I don't know how it happened, but it all got drank. Marcus says triathlon. There was some triathloning going. We were
Drunkathlon.
drunkathlon.
Marcus isn't even fucking drunk enough to come up with the proper wording here. Like,
God damn.
Marcus, you're gonna have to
Marcus,
pick up the drinking if you want to continue watching this stream, because you are shit in the bed, bud. Now, in a judo match, yeah, you gonna fuck me up. But first, he has to keep up drinking. Now, Marcus told me. Now, I've drank with you a couple times,
Mhm.
and I've noticed where on the bottle Drunkle John comes out, and I noticed where on the bottle Drunkle John's got to go to bed.
Yep.
Marcus messages me saying, "Uncle John can drink." Like, look, if that's what you consider can drink, you are so fucked. So fucked.
Yeah, but I was in a rare position in Whitby. It was really rare times. Like I don't drink hardly at all ever. But when I can be drinking and actively like burning it off, I was a dancing goddamn machine that night. I was a singing goddamn machine in Whitby.
You can't actually dance, can you?
No, not at all.
Okay,
but I
good,
was still
perfect.
a machine.
That's even
that was
better.
Performing
It's even better.
some kind of dance that someone may have called a dance one time.
I may not be able to dance, but it didn't stop me from trying all
Right?
fucking night.
That's fucking exactly what happened. And look, I saw Fox get fielded up by a man, and those things happen.
I want to hear more about this.
It was like in the dance floor, and I think Fox thought it was a chick. Dude was like,
hopefully he was all fucked up.
Oh my god!
And you went over and convinced him that it was a chick, so he went and did it.
I don't think it was realized until later, until everybody rethought about things. Oh my god.
That would have been so much fun to be at.
It was amazing. Michael Todd version 24.0 super chat says, I think Evan is next for a delusional series after he gets beat, or a Michael Todd stunt double. Oh, shit.
Listen. To start a delusional series, you need to be delusional. There is a big difference between being delusional and being a liar. It's not the same thing.
There is very low delusion on this channel. Fucking lie rate is through the roof, but very little delusion.
I will lie through my fucking teeth. No problem. I will never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Ever. But as far as delusional, no. I am hyper aware of who I am and what I'm actually capable of. It's just you need to decipher whether or not I'm lying to you.
Perfect. It's perfect. I love
That's
it.
how that works.
Is there any other way to live life? I don't think so.
Nah, man, I'm living my best life.
There it is. There it
I
is.
threw Chance's Yeezys out and I went back to my old Asics.
Oh man, you must be getting so much more relief now.
Oh my God, these are so much more comfortable. So I kind of take care of the ice on the curling rink here in town.
Oh yeah.
Those Yeezys give you fantastic grip on the ice.
Does that mean you drive a Zamboni?
No. The curling rink's not big enough for that, for a Zamboni. So we have to walk by, well, you don't walk by hand, but yeah, we're flooding it by hand with the garden hose. And you got to walk like fucking 18 miles to fucking put a full flood on it and, do all the painting, all that shit.
Great stuff. Great.
But yeah, those Yeezys are fantastic grip on the ice.
Nice.
I might make them my new curling shoes this year.
Do you curl?
Beer.
Yeah, but like, do you throw some stone? Is that what they call it? throw stone.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've curled a couple of times in my life, but I'll tell you, pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Pretty goddamn good. By a couple of times, I mean once.
Yeah.
And it was at my ex-wife's Christmas work party. And
Sounds great.
before the curling even started, the big boss shows up and he's drunk as shit, just yells out, "Open bar for the next hour." He's picking up the bar tab.
Nice.
All right. So I walk my happy fat little drunk ass over to the bar, get myself 2 double whiskeys and 4 pints. And I bring them back to the table and I set them down in front of my seat. Then I go back up, get back in the line, and get myself another 2 double whiskeys and another 4 pints. And I come back and sit them down at the table. And I go back up and do it a third time. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, it's only an open bar for the next hour. I'll fucking sit and drink the free ones all night." Turns out I only had time to get through the lineup 3 times in that hour because everybody wants to take advantage of the open bar.
Right.
Whatever. So I drink all of those, and now I'm fucking good and drunk. And her boss is like picking up some of the girls that work for him and swinging them around. And I'm like, this dude's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I wonder how he's going to like it if he were to get treated like that. And the light bulb went off. So onto the dance floor I go, and I scoop him up like a Disney princess and start swinging him around. And he thought it was fucking hilarious. Turns out it was open bar for me for the rest of the night. So 3 hours after open bar permanently, which I will take advantage of.
Yeah.
Now it's our time to curl in the fucking little tournament.
Amazing.
I was fantastic.
You just fucking slid that right in there, right in the money hole.
Didn't even need people to sweep. I was perfect.
Perfection.
Also, I was not allowed to sweep. I refused to wear the helmet that they wanted me to wear.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stay on my feet on the ice.
That's wise. That's wise. Hey, I don't think I told you, but I took and provisionally passed my Canadian citizenship test.
What?
Yeah.
You're a fucking Canadian?
Well, not officially yet. I have to go through the process because you take it online, but you have to have like a camera on you, and then they go back and like look at the footage to make sure you weren't cheating.
But were you cheating?
No, I wasn't cheating. I didn't have to. I had.
You just have all your whiteboards in front of where the camera can't see?
I have all my these are all my flashcards that I studied with. I figured it out. Like I studied hard. I knew some stuff about Canada.
Probably more than any Canadian.
Huh?
Probably more than
probably. Yeah. I mean, I immediately forgot it as soon.
Well, let's see if I could pass this test.
Okay.
Wait, bad idea. I don't want to do this.
No.
Let's see if Roy Baker can pass this test.
Okay, here you go. In what year did Canada reveal its new flag? The current flag we have now, what year was that put into place?
Okay, but it's all multiple choice, right?
Yeah, but not on my cards.
Well, look, I can't take the test if you're going to be like that.
Here you go. I'll give you 4 possible years. All right?
D, all of the above.
1955, 1960, 1965, or 1970. Are you just
55.
waiting so you can? What did you say?
55.
65.
Yeah, C.
Ooh.
That's what I said.
You said 55.
No, always pick C.
No.
Look, when in doubt, pick C.
Let's see. Who was Canada's first prime minister?
I know this.
Do you?
No.
Sir John
A.
Sir John A.
Sir John A.
Sir John Alexander MacDonald.
I know this. I try to sell people hammers that
There
were
you go.
first made by Sir John A. MacDonald.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. What is the highest honor that a Canadian can receive? What is the honor called?
Wait a minute. Like,
It's like an award, the name of the award.
All right.
And it's the highest honor that can possibly be bestowed onto
True?
a Canadian. Huh?
True.
Wrong.
It wasn't true or false?
No.
Okay, then C.
C is correct. That was the Victoria Cross.
The Victoria Cross. See,
Yes.
I would have got that for sure. Now that's in the army though.
I don't know. I just
No, it
went by
is.
what the book
And I'm close personal friends with one of the very few people that have ever won it.
Let's see. A lot of ones that are really boring.
I like boring. Not really.
Name 2 Canadian symbols.
Name 2 Canadian symbols.
Canadian symbols.
National symbols. Well, obviously the maple leaf is going to be one.
Correct.
Does it have to be like a national symbol or just a symbol that Canada, like provincials?
So the ones I have here would be more
Like would the fleur-de-lis
national.
count?
Yeah, fleur-de-lis counts. So that would be 2. The other one is definitely a national symbol. I don't know how common it is though. The Canadian crown.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the 3 that I was studying anyways. Do you know where the name Canada came from?
Yes, it's native.
Correct. Jacques Cartier.
Jacques
Third.
Cartier, huh?
So
That
Jacques-
backpacking
get this,
motherfucker.
get this.
Oh, go.
So in the book, in the study book, they say, oh, Jacques Cartier, he overheard some Iroquoian men saying this. And they said it like
Iroquoian?
Iroquoian. That says they specifically said Iroquoian. What do they call them? Prisoners.
Slaves.
Like
Captives.
at the time. Captives. Yeah. And then they
Nada.
said,
Yeah.
Kanata. This was 1534, and between 1534 and 1550, boom, Canada.
Yeah.
Signed it up.
Yeah, the Iroquois.
Now you know, ladies and gentlemen, we are an educational show here on Beers of Bad Company.
I hate it.
Here
So,
to educate
John,
everybody.
for next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Can you be on the show?
Maybe. Let me see.
Because I'm going to get a Canadian partner, or I'll also take a northern from the States as well. And Roy Baker, he's from the South. Have you ever met this dude?
I don't think so.
Oh man, what a fucking weirdo. So me and my northerner, so I'll take like somebody from New York or something, maybe Laba, just to give the other team a chance, because Laba's probably not any help in a trivia show. But we're going to try to do a trivia show, North versus South, and Roy Baker thinks the South is going to win.
What's the trivia about?
I don't know. Just
Oh.
randomness.
Interesting.
Just random fucking trivia, Trivial Pursuit type fucking trivia.
Yeah. I like that.
So he's going to get some Southern partners like Wayne Withers. He teaches in college and shit. He's a professor.
Wayne does?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wayne's
shit.
been on the show a few times, man. That dude is hilarious, and he can fucking drink.
What does he teach?
I don't know. English literature, I think.
Holy shit.
Can't even fucking read.
Amazing. White Wolf says, Uncle John, Canadian citizenship question. Number 1, who starred in Canadian Bacon and what was the plot? Well, Canadian Bacon was John Candy, correct?
Yes, it was.
I honestly cannot remember what the plot was.
There is no plot.
There is no plot. There you go.
But I would have much preferred you to go with Strange Brew if you're going to ask that question.
Strange Brew. So I definitely am very well familiar with Strange Brew, Doug and Bob McKenzie. And they go
Which were played by
Rick Moranis and I forget the other guy's real name.
Terrible, terrible. And what's the plot of that?
So the plot of that is that the boys want beers, so they have to go to Elsnore Brewery, right?
Elsnor.
Elsnore. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. And so I don't know if I can even get through the explanation of this fucking movie. So
With the bottle, with the free beer, with the
it's a jelly. Beauty.
beauty, eh? You don't have
Beauty, eh?
jelly donuts. Take off, eh? You hoser.
So there's some kind of mind-controlled hockey team that is in there. They have their own TV show, kind of. They fall in a vat of beer and drink their way out. And you got to watch it. You got to watch it, man.
Anybody that has never watched Strange Brew is missing the fuck out.
Oh,
Understand, it is fucking ridiculous and amazing. And both to the extreme. I love it.
Really
I
good.
love it.
White Wolf also asks, what's the best hockey movie ever made? Get these two right, and you are Canadian. So the best hockey movie ever made is obviously Slapshot. I'm willing to hear others, but I disagree.
You disagree with anything else? Yeah.
I mean, there are other, like, I respect what the Mighty Ducks was, but Mighty Ducks is not, is not Slapshot.
I would go with D2 over the Mighty Ducks, but
well, I just meant the trailer.
yeah, the whole franchise.
Yeah.
I would take Goon over the Mighty Ducks for sure.
Sure. Yes. Goon is great.
Goon is fantastic.
But it's not as good as Slapshot. Fucking.
I don't know. I love the character development. Just with Slapshot, it's just the Hanson brothers, right?
But it's not.
Those guys are
the Hanson
fucking
brothers.
retarded.
But look, the movie opens and there's a goalie on a radio show, and they're like, "Oh, and what do you do about this?" Well, you take stick, you hit him in the head.
Well, then
then
slashing
they
like
say,
this,
"High
and then the
sticking."
hooking like
they send you
this.
to box, you go, you feel shame, and then
You go to the box for 2 minutes and you feel shame. I know, I can't breathe. It's the hair, it makes me sick, puking, blah, like that, puking. I love Slapshot. But I love Goon.
Oh, fuck.
But I think Happy Gilmore is the greatest hockey movie ever.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it qualifies.
What are you numbnuts doing? Putting on the foil, coach. Hey, don't get me a soda and none of that stinking root beer. These idiots brought their toy trains. I fucking love that movie.
What do you think about Youngblood? Mr. McPhee says Rob Lowe in Youngblood, and I did watch a lot of Youngblood back in the day.
Rob Lowe can eat my asshole.
Yes, because you would want him to, because he is a hell of a good-looking man.
No, I just have a gnarly case of the squirts, and I just think this would be a funny outcome. Fuck that guy. I can't stand Rob Lowe. Ever since I watched Wayne's World for the first time, I just want to punch Rob Lowe right in the fucking face.
Hold on. I just saw something up here, and then Roy Baker says Strange Brew is a remake of Hamlet, and I never thought about it, but it is.
No, Jesus, no. What's wrong with you guys? That's Roy Baker for you. This is the guy that thinks he's going to win a trivia contest from fucking South Georgia.
He makes a good point. White Wolf in the super chat says, I now officially pronounce Uncle John Canadian. Please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Oh, Canada, something, yes. Fuck Trudeau. Oh, wait, I'm not a citizen yet. Don't listen to me.
Hey, that actually kind of worked.
Yeah, right?
Except you're not saying that on YouTube. Fuck.
Uh-oh. It's not my channel. Hey.
Oh, goddamn. I see. The old fucking knifey forky game here.
Was that?
Why
Oh, I
do I want
regret
to be
all of
on
my
Roy
previous
Baker's
actions.
team? What if I'm on Roy Baker's team?
No, we need you being the guy.
Dude, Roy Baker
You can't
just
be
said,
from the South. Look, yeah, you might be American still, but you're from fucking Minnesota.
but that's not the point.
All the
point
rest
is
of
that-
Americans make fun of Minnesotans for being Canadian.
Look, Roy Baker
You
just
say
said,
a boot more than we
he
do.
just said, I haven't liked Paul Reiser since watching Aliens. I too have not liked Paul Reiser since watching Aliens.
I have never liked Paul Reiser because I don't know who the fuck it is.
Have you ever seen Aliens?
Fucking,
Of course you have.
something.
I don't think so.
It's like the
Yeah,
kick-ass-
Sigourney Weaver, fucking alien crawling out of the stomach, and
Yeah, but not the first
I
one.
saw Spaceballs.
Hey, that's close. That's close enough. That's close enough, buddy.
No, I don't think I've ever seen any of the Alien movies. I've seen Alien versus Predator.
Alien versus Predator. Did you see the new Predator? Prey?
Yes,
Good. I liked it.
but never seen an Alien.
Never seen an Alien. You're missing out. Just watch Aliens, the second one. Do it immediately.
Well, if I'm gonna watch them, I'm gonna watch them all in order.
Sure, do that too. But number 2 is the one you really want.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Marcus Thompson's been a member for 2 months. He says, for fuck's sake, trying to super chat for 20 minutes. Stupid YouTube clowns. I agree. Evan is definitely a stupid YouTube clown.
YouTube thinks I'm laundering money through Evan. Oh, that's hilarious. I need to stop saying that he runs the IRA on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, right. Things YouTube doesn't like.
So
Oh, man.
we need a host for the trivia.
Right.
We got to figure out how we're going to do this. Like, if you got to silence everybody and first person to get their hands up is like who you asked to answer the question first.
Well, is it everybody for themselves or is it just teams?
Teams, North versus South.
Okay. So we have to figure out a way. So like we'll have to, each team will have to have a sign, and then you can hold up the sign when you're ready to answer. And then
Well, I mean, it's going to be on a Zoom call like this, but
Yeah.
there's going to be like multiple people. We're not all sitting beside each other.
fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna get high and answer trivia questions. I know that.
No, you have to ask them.
Oh, I'm asking them.
Yeah, you need to host the show.
Fuck.
You can get high and fuck it all up, though. No
Do
problem.
are you guys giving me the questions, or do I have
No.
to come up with them? Oh, Jesus Lord. All right, actually, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
How can I give you the questions?
That's fine. I can do that. Maybe we'll call Ozzy. Ozzy is like the fucking trivia fucking master.
I mean, we could do this on another show too.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you want to do it after you shoot the porn film with Paul or before? Because I know that might turn you on or off to camera work.
no, I mean, I'm okay. It's either way. I mean, people are going to find out I got a little weeder, but I tell them that anyway, so not really shy about it.
Mm-hmm. So would a question like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how many penises have been in Evan's mouth? Is that a question I can
That's a
ask?
trick question, John. Because if I ever have to suck a dick, I'm going to do it with my butt. Man, you can't buy enough mouthwash to deal with that.
Oh, oh God.
Trick question. You can't fool me. I know these answers. But yes, I talked a lot of shit when Wayne was on. Sometimes I like to berate my guests
No,
to the point where they don't ever want to come back on. Wayne is not one of those guys. I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. He finds it as funny as I do, and he's
How
been
old
on
is Roy
several
Baker?
times since.
How old is Roy Baker? What's your age range? Because Evan and I are
Yeah,
both like
John, I'm just gonna send Roy the fucking link, and we can get him in here.
Yeah. How old is Withers? Is he a little older than us, or does he just look old as shit?
Yeah, I don't know if I asked him. I probably did, but you know,
Just to
I
know,
don't-
just to know for like, because I'm going to do a lot of pop culture shit. And
Well,
it's gotta
I
be-
want Devin on my team, so he's got to be as old as Wayne.
Yeah.
I was thinking about maybe I'll take RVJ and the South can have Bowen. I mean, how much more South do you want?
Right.
Except nobody else is going to get to play. We got the two smartest men.
Smart. Well, that's,
In the
everybody else
world.
can just drink. Roy is 48. He says, I think Wayne said he was 42. All right. So we got that 10-year range there. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, whatever. Just fucking your standard trivia bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we could do it where everybody's got to have like their whiteboard or paper, and you write down your answer.
Oh, both teams can answer all questions.
Yeah, so if we could do it that way, then everybody on the count of three, you've got to hold up your fucking answer.
So how are we going to make it so the teams can talk to each other?
You can't. But every right answer from the north gets a point. Every right answer from the south gets a point. We'll see who's got the most points at the end.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm just spitballing out ideas here on how we can get this done.
Yeah.
But I find it offensive when these Southerns try to challenge me to trivia and like IQ stuff. Like, look at Roy. He won't even do a desk pop.
I've done so many, and you just don't accept that they're real, beer man.
Roy, you held up a pencil, put your hand over your mouth, and went pew pew. How is that a fucking desk pop?
Oh man!
And he even pulled out the suppressor and everything. It's like, well, put some phone books. It's 22. It's not going to go far. Just fucking. No, won't do it.
Woo! Land of freedom, baby.
Hey, Roy.
Yes, sir.
Uncle John's never seen you on the show. You need to show him why I call you a weirdo.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Don't tell me you don't have it already ready. Now, Uncle John, what is that?
That's a back roller.
No, it is not.
That's a good guess, though.
It's
It is
not.
a roller. It is a roller.
That's
It's a roller. It is a colon massager. Notice the ribbing for
That
his
explains-
pleasure.
That explains why my grandparents had one when I was a kid. Yeah.
No, it's plantar fasciitis foot roller.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see.
I used to use something like that on my shins. Sucked.
What for?
To kill the nerve endings in your shins?
What were you doing? Trying to kickbox?
No, I just fucking hate trailer hitches.
That too.
Ah,
Okay.
I thought that you'd be using that on your dick.
why would I ever whack my dick into a trailer hitch?
I don't know. It's low hanging fruit.
That's the
No,
problem.
I've already told you I get the whole little wiener problem.
Yeah, the
that's not a
problem is
thing.
his fruit.
What am I
is
doing?
not
Walking around on
low-hanging.
my knees? I mean, I do have short legs, but not that short.
But I know you have a tiny penis, but what about your ball sack? I thought that was like way down there.
Yeah, that was before years of steroid abuse.
Ah, I see. Took
Hey,
care of
let me
that
just
problem.
tell y'all something. You two young whippersnappers that are not even 40 yet. When you start getting to your late 40s, you will notice something. Your dick doesn't get bigger, but your balls do.
Yeah.
They elongate.
Great.
You have to worry about them hitting the water when you sit down on the toilet.
Oh my God. I've been there since I was 16.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna
so
have
you're
problems.
That's
Yeah,
a
you're-
problem I used to have.
Jesus.
I
gotta
got
get
rid
on
of
the
that
juice.
problem with years of steroid abuse. I used to have to sit down on the toilet, pick my nutsack up, and set it on my legs so it didn't get gross.
He's trying to get his nutsack to not be gross. That is not possible. That thing has been gross since day one.
so is it just me or like can you see Evan on his audio or is that
No, he turned his screen off because he's probably pissing in his bucket.
okay? All right.
It's usually his bucket piss break screen.
So Uncle John, just let me say, big fan, like all your stuff,
Hey,
supporter.
thanks, man.
Enjoy going on the show and commenting on the caption thing with you and Aussie.
Right on.
I think you're a good arm wrestler. Of course, you're an evil bastard that tried to kill somebody and break their arm and stick it up
Fucking
their
right,
ass.
I am.
I know it. I mean, I just love the fact that you're just such a callous, total asshole. I really appreciate that.
Look, the world's gotta have a bad guy, and there's not nearly enough of us. So here I am.
Yep. So let me ask you this question. You're a big pro wrestling fan, right?
Love it.
Okay, but you grew up in Minnesota, is that correct?
Yes.
So, well, gosh, you remember the AWA, Vern Gagne, and all that?
Yeah. So I never interacted with any of that stuff. Pro wrestling was not a big thing in my household, but I definitely was cognizant when the golden age was happening with Hogan and Macho, Hogan and Warrior. But my real big heyday was like mid to late 90s with WCW versus, the Monday Night Wars and NWO and DX. That was the real heyday. My favorite is still Red and Yellow Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho, all those guys. But like Hollywood Hogan, oh my God, it's my jam. It's my jam, so much so that the man himself is right.
How is Hollywood Hogan?
Dude, he was the shit.
Dude, I don't get it. Like the finger poke of doom, all of that.
Look, take the good with the bad. Just remember that once you're a member of the NWO, you're a member for life.
Yeah, there's the problem. I think the NWO is what killed the WCW.
Of course it did, but it also made the WCW bigger than anything at the time.
It ruined it. There was nobody.
Well,
It was an entire roster full of NWO members, but nobody to fight.
Yeah, it was hot shotting. I mean, they got it hot. Like WCW was actually beating WWF there for a little while.
Yeah,
and they hot shotted it, and they got it hot, but they didn't know how to keep it, and that was ultimately, then they started, they just spent into oblivion. I mean, that WCW lost like tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars the last few years it was in existence.
I just saw a podcast with Kevin Nash and this other guy. They did the Click podcast or something like that.
Click this. I love listening to Kevin Nash on podcast.
Really awesome.
Great dude.
But they were going through, they had a copy of Hulk Hogan's 1997/98 contract. It was fucking insane.
Yeah, all the control he had over, like, that doesn't work for me, bro.
The NWO did not ruin WCW, but Hogan sure as hell did, because all the money was going to him.
Right, because the guy that gave Hogan that had nothing to do with it.
Bischoff.
I'm sure Bischoff was getting his too, but Hogan was fucking like he was getting 100% of the take from house shows. Like, how do you run a company like that? You don't. You die.
See, I'm 10 years older almost to the day, to the year as both of you. So my thing was, of course, obviously I'm from the South. So I was a huge Ric Flair, Four Horsemen, Midnight Express, it was Southern
Fucking
stuff.
hated Flair too.
Oh, Flair's one of the best ever. I mean, one of the greatest wrestlers ever.
I don't get it. I can't get behind that.
Look at the work he did in the ring and think about the schedule he kept for 10 plus years as the NWA champion.
That's exactly what my problem is. I can't get behind any of the work he's ever done. I think Flair was shit.
Okay, but you're a Hogan fan? The guy couldn't work his way out of a fucking paper sack.
When did I say I was a Hogan fan? I was pissed off at John about the fucking Hollywood.
Okay. Yeah, but Hogan sucked in the ring. I mean, compared to Flair?
Okay, so the red and yellow, I was a fucking child. It's not my fault.
I get it.
Now that I've matured and I go back and watch that stuff, Hogan, Flair, these guys don't belong in a top 10 list.
Oh, Flair does. Hogan doesn't. Not as I mean, if you want to talk about drawing money, Hogan's number one all time. but
Well,
maybe probably Steve Austin.
yeah, Stone Cold's definitely up there. So is The Rock, Cena. So, but it's unfair because the amount of money drawn in today's market versus back then it's very different. It's not comparable. But so Hogan did do wonderful things for wrestling, far more than Flair did for it.
Nah.
Well, I mean, with the push of Vince McMahon, yeah, he did.
But that was
Everybody
always
knew who Hulk Hogan was. That's a fact,
so
undeniable.
let me just fix you guys' argument because you're both fucking idiots. Number one,
Says
Hulk
the guy who doesn't
Hogan-
know who the eighth wonder of the world is.
Hulk Hogan drew way more than Flair, way more, billions of mazillions of dollars. But
How do you call us idiots and talk about mazillions of dollars?
but Flair is the superior pro wrestler. Flair is the superior talker. He is the superior ring master. But Hogan has the fucking Hogan.
No.
Period.
I can't deal with even listening to Flair's promos.
You're wrong.
His
You're
in-ring
wrong
work
by the data.
is
You're wrong by the facts.
subpar. I would rather listen to a Hogan promo, and Hogan wasn't that great at it. His in-ring work was very, very one-dimensional. He had very limited avenues. Flair oversold everything for everybody. It was too much. Give me
Next
Jake
thing
the Snake.
you're gonna tell me-
I'll
you're gonna
take
tell me
Jake the
that
Snake
Jimmy
over
Hart is
either
gonna
one of
cut a
those
better
dudes
promo than
at
Flair.
any time.
You're terrible. You're a terrible person, Evan.
There's a lot of revisionist history on Flair. People now go on YouTube and they can watch all these big matches Flair had over his career, and they go, "Well, he just had the same match and he did the same bumps in every match." And it's like, well, you weren't watching the TV shows. You weren't going to all the house shows where they were selling out all these house shows. That's drawing money. Like nobody in the wrestling business draws money today. It's all just
and
this
that was
TV
before
bullshit.
it was national syndicate television. You could do the exact same match for 2 weeks straight, and
Yeah.
nobody's going to catch on.
'Cause
Right?
you're
It's
traveling.
always a new fucking venue in a new area, and it's not like it's nationally broadcasted where people are complaining it's the same match every time. So it's a whole different era. But I just don't think Flair was able to tell the story in the ring as well as Jake the Snake or Rick Rude even. You know, those guys were just far better in the ring.
You're an idiot.
Eh.
I will agree with you as long as I'm right.
Flair made so many people. Flair, okay, like Sting, okay, the wrestler Sting. Some people are fans of him, some people aren't. He got a lot better. He
I'm a fan of
overachieved,
Sting.
but Flair made him. I mean, Flair made so many guys. Flair would take these guys in the ring, he would coach them through it, and he made Sting. I mean, he totally made Sting.
Sting says that himself.
Yeah.
You know, I just watched the Ric Flair documentary on Netflix last night where Hogan even says, no, I am not the greatest wrestler of all time. Ric Flair, far fucking better than me. Absolutely. Right.
Yes.
So when Hogan says that, it kind of really shuts that argument down. I just don't think either of them were as good. I think that they just got a bigger push.
You know who I have heard talk shit about Ric Flair's in-ring work?
Ooh.
Bret Hart.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bret Hart is a dickhead that talks shit about everybody's work.
Yeah.
Now,
They
I
had
am a
beef.
fan of Bret Hart in the ring. But
They
out
had
of the
beef
ring,
for a while.
oh my God, that guy is such a fuck.
Flair and Bret Hart had beef for a while, but
Yeah.
I think they're okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, all I know is that Flair is a moment maker. I mean, somebody put it in the chat, a tear in my eye, right? All these little moments that he had, the fucking retirement match, the perfect retirement. I mean, let's just forget about the next 10 years after that.
Yeah,
But
10 years worth of matches after his retirement match.
The
Shawn
80
Michaels telling him he loves him
retirement?
before
Oh.
kicking his fucking face off.
The
Beautiful.
matches that Flair had with Barry Windham back in the 80s are some of the best hour-long draw matches you will ever see.
Incredible.
How many Iron Man matches has Flair done? Like 10
Fucking
million?
all.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
How many matches did Hogan ever do that were more than 5 or 8 minutes ever when he was in the WWF?
The
None.
Royal Rumble,
That's not a match. That's just standing around jerking off.
Survivor Series.
That's all
Yeah,
that
he wasn't
takes.
actually-
But I mean, him and King Kong Bundy got double DQ'd, count out, and the rest of their team just kept fighting, so it doesn't really count much. But either way,
I'll be back.
I just don't I just can't get behind Flair being that good of an in-ring worker. Now, you watch some of his old stuff with like Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
Those dudes work together really well, and I'm a huge fan of Ricky Steamboat. But I just think Steamboat made the match, not Rick.
You can't. Yeah, you say that, but it was. He's a big part of it. Now, let me also say this.
Yeah, it takes two to tango, and
Now,
they work really well together.
Go back and look on YouTube and see if you can find some of the old like 70s matches when Flair was when he was just getting really started against Flair and Wahoo McDaniel. Those are some
Flair started in 72.
Yeah. Some of the 70s matches with Flair and Wahoo McDaniel.
Wahoo McDaniel, is that the dude that fucking New Jack fucked up with the bat?
No, that was Gypsy Joe.
Gypsy Joe, yes. Wahoo McDaniels, where do I know him from?
Wahoo McDaniel was a tough son of a bitch. He was a Native American. He was a Choctaw. He played pro football here in the U.S. and then he got traded from the Denver Broncos because he got in a fight and knocked out 6 cops in the locker room. He was a tough motherfucker. He played college football at Oklahoma. I mean, and
I know stories about Wahoo McDaniel that I'm not able to place. I know that name.
Yeah, he was a badass.
And he was NWA or
he wrestled everywhere, but he did a lot of NWA stuff. He wrestled a lot in the Carolinas. He wrestled a lot in Georgia.
So I watch a lot of like old school wrestling podcasts, and there's maybe his name is just brought up a lot.
Flair talks about how great he was and how he was the man and how he was tough as hell and how he helped make Flair, and he was just a real badass.
All right, so we're gonna open this up to the chat a little bit to get our opinions on old school wrestlers. Somebody in the chat was asking about Hillbilly Jim. I'll go first.
Okay.
I fucking love that dude. Love Hillbilly Jim.
He was a big guy, and his best in-ring work was before he got to the WWF. He didn't get used properly in the WWF, but that was just because of the cartoon, nature of it.
I would say the problem with Big John Studd and not being used properly is because they had too many big stars that they didn't want to push down the card for him. There just wasn't enough room to let him in there. He had a very unique look, and Hillbilly Jim was just fucking incredible. I love that guy.
He was a big son of a bitch too. He's like 6'7". I mean, and he was bigger than Hogan. I mean, if you see them standing next to each other.
Hey, Roy.
Yes, sir.
Fuck Paul Reiser. Am I right?
That's right. Yes. That son of a bitch. Closed the door on them while they were trying to escape from those damn aliens. Locked it.
John, your thoughts on Hillbilly Jim?
I'll not interested in Hillbilly Jim. I can appreciate the character for what it was at the time. Not a favorite of mine. Never captivated me for more than 1 second, except for the few times that he was doing stuff with Hogan. Well,
then you should just stop talking, fucking city boy. But
go back and watch Hillbilly Jim's matches he had when he was wrestling in Tennessee in the Memphis territory. He was wrestling as Harley Davidson. He could work. I mean, he was, nobody got a chance to really showcase any kind of real in-ring work in the WWF in the 80s. And it was always just an appearance in tights. It was never really
it was all squash matches.
Yeah, it was all bullshit.
Speaking of that, and to further prove that, yes, I am a city boy, guess who I would take well above Hillbilly Jim? Above, but another fucking just shit guy. Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Ed Leslie? Yes. You're out of your fucking mind. Okay, that's the end of that segment. Next question. Best fucking introduction to the WWE WWF.
Strutting and cutting, baby.
Best introduction?
The fucking entry was Kane. He got introduced. The build-up to his arrival was just the greatest thing ever.
I would
counter with Mankind's. They built that son of a bitch for a long time before letting him in. And Mankind showed up. I would put him above Kane.
The fuck are you talking about? Kane and Mankind fighting?
The
when
build. So back in the day, wrestlers
When you
didn't
get a
show up
beer.
and start wrestling. You'd get these promos and these little videos about the guys that are coming, like Mr. Perfect, throwing the football and then catching it across the field, all of that shit. Kurt Hennig was awesome. So you would see all these videos for months before they showed up and made their debut in the WWE or after, right? He was saying Kane's introduction to, but Kane was already there as Isaac Yankum and
but
Big Diesel.
The mask really did it. I think the mask really did it. The secrecy did it. Like that would a character like that would never work now, but it was just a perfectly unique time where everybody was already in on the metaphysical haunted house shit of the Undertaker. Everybody was already accepting of that. So it just blended right in. The whole Kane thing blended right in. I mean, I like Kane.
So who had the best build-up before their initial appearance?
Before in 97, before he came?
So what we were just talking about, how Mr. Perfect, there was months of him throwing the football and catching it or bowling and just everything he does is perfect, right? You see all these videos before you ever see him show up to actually wrestle.
Yeah, so leading up to
the most anticipated debut, basically.
Yeah, so that was, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was 97. Was that WrestleMania where Undertaker and Shawn Michaels were having Hell in a Cell?
And then Kane ripped the cage off?
Yeah.
I believe so.
So the lead up to that, we had never seen anything of Kane, as far as I know, before he showed up. All the promos, I think, were Paul Bearer talking about
Right. So, but it was still building all the all of the build up for Mankind was just like the dark boiler rooms and shit, right?
Yeah.
So who would you pick as the most anticipated appearance? Shockmaster.
Shockmaster.
The Shockmaster.
Tugboat.
Holy smokes.
That
Opinions
Shockmaster
on Big John Studd.
What about Big John Studd?
Your opinion on him?
Same as Hillbilly Jim.
My favorite moment of Big John Studd was when he ran out of the arena because he thought Andre was going to kill him.
Yeah. They apparently did not like each other.
No. Big John Studd did like Andre. Andre just hated him because he wouldn't go under the top rope.
Yeah, I've heard conflicting stories on that. I've heard people say that Andre told Studd, he said, "You don't step over the top rope like I do. There's only one giant," and that supposedly that pissed him off. But I've heard other people say that was not true. That they were actually liked each other. They were friends. I don't know. Who knows?
Keep the heat alive, baby. Keep the heat alive.
Kayfabe. Junkyard Dog.
His best work was well before he went to WWF. He became a Hall of Famer in Louisiana in the Mid-South way before. He just got fat and out of shape and was terrible in the WWF, but he was as big in Louisiana and that territory. He was as big there and as big and over as a star as Hogan was in the WWF. He was that big. He was never a great worker in the ring. You had to have his match. It was all punching and kicking and body slamming, and he couldn't work, but he could talk him into the building.
John doesn't know much about the old work of Junkyard Dog.
I don't know anything about the old work of Junkyard Dog, but I do. I liked him. I
loved him
when I was a kid. Like, I thought he was awesome. He's like got the chain and the collar, and I was very interested in people like him and like Hacksaw, where like they literally
Coco Beware.
They bring the shit with them. You're like, you're gonna get punched with that or hit with that or whatever.
Coco Beware.
He was another one of the good guys that was just like, he was a fan favorite, but low card.
Yeah.
Bam Bigelow.
Oh, hold on. Let me say something about Coco Beware first. Coco Beware was yet another guy, and I sound like a broken record. His best work was before he went to the WWF, because there he gained 30 pounds. He got the bird. He was go back and look at some of the old YouTube matches between Jerry Lawler and Coco Ware in Tennessee. He was he was an outstanding athletic worker. He never got to show that in the WWF. Bam Bigelow. One of the best big men ever. Total athlete, total beast, complete monster for his size.
I wish he wouldn't have died quite so early.
Yeah.
Too
He
bad.
also, saved people from a fucking fire, so that was kind of badass too.
There was there's a couple of guys, there's a couple of wrestlers where as a kid, like they legit, like I was like, I kind of know that wrestling is fake, but these guys, they're like the real, like the actual bad ones. And Bam Bam Bigelow was one of those guys.
Yep.
Like he was actually a bad guy that would actually fucking murder someone.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Scott Hall did.
Well,
New Jack had 4.
Yeah, New Jack, wild man.
Okay, so Kane's debut was Bad Blood, apparently.
Bad Blood. Gotcha.
George the Animal Steel.
Oh, George.
That was my childhood favorite. I love George the Animal Steel.
I can see that.
And Mad Dog. Big fan of Mad Dog.
Grippler's uncle, right?
Yes.
Yep. Mad Dog Vachon.
I was actually,
He was a real shooter.
yes, he was. He was an Olympic wrestler.
Yes.
I was actually offered to play the new Mad Dog Vachon in the WWE.
This story is
It was a half-ass offer that never went anywhere at all. But yeah,
yeah. I like this question. I know I'm skipping a few, but best managers, because in my opinion, there's only one fucking answer.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
But number 2 is Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
fuck Jim Cornette.
Number 2 is Jim Cornette.
I like Jim Cornette.
I can't stand Jim Cornette.
He was a great manager. That means he was good. If you don't like him,
What do you think?
No, I
Kevin?
get it.
Sable? Would you pick Sable? Is that the best manager?
No, the only story I like involving Sable was when Mark Merrill found out his wife was cheating on him.
Yeah.
So he had plans to go and fight whoever it was until he found out it was Lesnar. And then he decided to just go home and say, fuck it, you can have her.
What about maybe you prefer let's say Sensational Sherry.
No,
she was good.
Fuji. I like Fuji.
Fuji's a great character.
Captain Lou.
Captain Lou is a great character.
He was a legit nut too.
I
Ready?
like the reasons I love Bobby and Jim is because they both can talk.
Yes.
Their ability to communicate the story and make you laugh and make you pissed and whatever else is uncomparable.
Bobby Heenan's his delivery, his speech, his timing. He was he was better than most stand-up comedians as far as the way he could deliver lines, his timing, everything.
Look, guys, you need to understand that you guys both come in with Bobby Heenan, and I got to fucking grasp for things to not just agree.
Yeah, so be better. Because
Right.
he's gonna fuck you up everything you say.
Fuji was a fantastic manager because he was a legitimate threat to actually interfere with a match. And then, well, he was a badass back in the day himself.
Yeah,
And then-
I liked.
The Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart.
Yep.
Jimmy
He was a
Hart.
fantastic manager on the mic to do the talking, getting the crowd involved during the matches.
Jimmy Hart.
But yeah, it's really hard to go against the Weasel.
Yes. Okay. Couple things about Bobby Heenan. Number 1, he was a better worker than almost everybody he managed. Did you ever see Bobby Heenan wrestle?
I have
Yes.
seen a few Bobby.
He
Heenan
was
matches.
a fucking phenomenal wrestler. I mean, there's an old match of him. It's a tag team match. It's him and it's Haku, Ming, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
And I think it was in Japan.
Whatever
I
he
think-
tells me to call him. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. But Bobby Heenan was a phenomenal worker. And even as a manager, he would take those big fucking bumps. Like,
Well, he knew how to do it very well.
yes. And he would
Yeah,
get,
technically very, very sound dude in the ring back in the day. Psycho Sid.
he was the
Master
shits.
of the universe.
He was the shits. He was
You
the
remember when he
shits.
busted his leg?
Yeah.
That is the greatest moment of his career.
He was if he wasn't 6'6" or however tall he really legit was, and didn't have that body and that look. I mean, he was, that was it. I mean, that was all he was. He didn't, his work wasn't that good in the ring, really wasn't good at all. He didn't really give a shit about the wrestling business. He just liked making money. kind of like he wasn't a fan. He was just a big guy that they said, hey, you could make some money wrestling. Okay.
They're like, all right.
I heard there's
scream it into the camera.
I heard his kids got some potential in arm wrestling, actually.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Really?
The Bushwhackers.
They were better as the sheep herders before they went to the WWF. They were great. I mean, they were.
As a kid, I enjoyed them. As a kid, now it's very difficult for me to even watch a single match with them in it. Like,
we're gonna have to like rapid fire these.
All right.
Less detail. We'll come back to anybody we really want to go over again.
Yeah.
But we got to catch up because there's a lot being fucking poured in here.
Go.
Okay. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Thumbs up.
Good guy.
Loved it as a kid. Fucking USA.
Like everybody else, his best work was before he got to the WWF. Next.
We're going to have to get answers that don't involve his best work was before WWF from now on. Lex Luger.
Made a lot of money, overachieved. He got better. He got better in the late 90s. He would be like Lou Thez now compared to these dickheads that they pass off as wrestlers now. But I mean,
you are fantastic at keeping these short.
Hey, all aboard the Lex Express, baby.
Lex Luger, I agree with Roy on this one. That dude, way overpaid.
Yeah.
But he
Ventura.
slammed Yokozuna.
Ventura. Fuck. Shut up. Ventura.
That said, it was a hip toss. He only hip tossed him.
It was Ventura.
Ventura could talk. He was a great talker. His work in the ring was sucked. His shit couldn't break an egg. I mean, he just couldn't work, but he was a great talker. That's why I made him a commentator.
Ventura, better politician than he is a fucking wrestler.
I was 1 year too young to vote for Jesse. I couldn't vote for him, but I was very pro Jesse in Minnesota in 96, 7, 8, somewhere in there. I can't remember when it was.
Bruiser Brody, John.
Like before my time. I appreciate going back. I think he's pretty wild dude. I like the gimmick, but I'm not very passionate about him.
He was great wild man, great big man, tough guy, got a raw deal in Puerto Rico.
Knew the sport inside and out. He fucking helped a lot of people on the way. He did great work in the ring. Sucks he got stabbed up.
Yep.
The Berserker.
Oh.
Berserker.
John Nord, right?
John Nord, yes.
Huss.
That Huss was Brody. Right? Huss was Brody.
Yeah.
No, Huss was Berserker. I mean, Brody might have done it too, but the Berserker definitely did Huss.
Oh,
well, John Nord took a lot of his stuff from the from Bruiser Brody, but John Nord did a lot of great work, not as the Berserker.
Yeah.
Again,
was it before WWF?
I'll say it for Roy. It was before he got to the WWF.
It was. It always was. He was Nord the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was better. Yeah.
The Barbarian's another one. I was a big fan of the Barbarian, and not so much from his in ring work, but him and Haku being the guys that fuck you, don't deal with that.
Yeah, you don't want to fight those motherfuckers. No. Skinner.
Yeah. Wasn't that Smash?
No. I don't have the action figure.
Wasn't Skinner? He was like a character in the WWF that was played by. Was it Steve Kern?
Steve, yes, it was Steve.
Oh, Steve Kern.
He always had like the big, like a chew in his teeth.
Who's Steve Kern's partner?
He was in the Fabulous Ones with Stan Lane.
Yes, and when they fought the Road Warriors.
Yes, in the AWA.
Yeah,
and it turned into a shoot.
Well, only halfway.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. John stayed on the outside. He was like, no, not doing that. But okay, Roman Reigns.
I don't watch now, so I don't know. I don't watch it. It sucks.
I do watch it. It's just hard to see. It's hard to accept the new Hulk Hogan. Like
I think he's blowing fucking Triple H. Because there is no reason that they're still trying to shove that fucking dipshit down people's throats when nobody fucking likes them.
They don't have any
They
stars.
do.
They don't have any
sells merch.
stars. They don't have any
sells merch.
stars. That nobody's over. Nobody's
Razor
over.
Ramon.
Sign me up today, tomorrow, the next day. The bad guy. I get it. Like, you know, you can say what you want about his work, but that fucking character, Chico.
What are you going to say bad about his work?
His work was great. He was.
Well,
Limited.
No,
I mean, look, he's in the exact same boat as Kevin Nash.
Oh,
where
he's
the
tough.
work that they had was limited. Now, it wasn't as limited as Kevin Nash's, but he didn't have a whole lot of skills set. But what he had, he was very good with, and he was very good at utilizing it, and he was able to tell the story in the ring.
well, are we
I think he
talking
was
about
great.
Scott Hall in general, or just
Yes.
the character of Razor Ramon? So Scott Hall in general, I actually liked the best before he went to WWF when he was hanging and banging with like Kurt Hennig, you know, in those
Yes.
days. That was, he got the mustache. He had that big, thick mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, sign me up for that all day.
I didn't even realize when they first introduced the Razor Ramon character.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was Scott Hall because he looked so different. He had his, the hair jet black and slicked back, and he didn't have.
All of
I
a
didn't know
sudden,
it was
became
him.
fucking Tony Montana on steroids.
Yeah.
I did
totally.
not-
Like, literally on a lot of steroids.
Scott Hall was 10 times a better worker in the ring than Kevin Nash ever thought about being. 10 times. He was. Kevin Nash.
Still
Kevin,
not. If you look at Scott Hall's career, his best moments are not his in-ring work. It's not. What made him so good was not what he did during the match. It's everything else. The way he would build up, the way
he was a good talker.
and the way that he would be able to take the beating, the way he could play the bad guy during the match, fucking, he was fantastic. But his move set was very, very limited.
Next,
Next was Greg the Hammer Valentine.
pass.
Tough, real tough guy, solid worker.
How's he going to do this without saying it?
Good guy for that. He was always well. That's not
Where was
true.
his best work?
His best work was with Roddy Piper when they had the dog collar match in Georgia.
Oh, that's true. I did see that match. That was pretty good.
Dog collar match. That was brutal.
Yeah, that was bloody as shit.
But Valentine was solid, man. He was a good, he was good for his time. I mean, he was a
Solid worker, knew his job, worked it all very well, had no problems putting people over. He was a great asset to any company. I just hated his face.
Fair.
Brock Lesnar.
Fucking, I mean, look, he's been around for what now? 20 plus years, 25 years, maybe.
Either him or Goldberg is the worst, highest paid wrestler ever. Fuck.
Brock Lesnar he's a guy that didn't watch wrestling. He was not a wrestling fan when he came up. You can tell. He got into wrestling as a pro because he knew he could make millions of
He
fucking
couldn't
dollars.
make it in football.
Well, that too, but I mean,
Then he left it to go do fighting and realized that it really hurts getting beat up for real.
Yeah, he was overrated as shit as an MMA fighter, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, he did win the UFC heavyweight title. So,
Yeah, by beating a 45-year-old Randy Couture who weighed 100 pounds less.
who was
than him.
the current best in the fucking world. You can't really knock that hard. Tim Sylvia was a champ for how long? Randy came out and fucking pummeled that dude like a motherfucker.
I agree. I'm not shitting on Randy Couture. I'm just saying Lesnar's a guy who's made a bunch of money. Good for him. He's a big, scary looking, Do you remember when he first?
You think he regrets bagging Sable now that she's old as shit? Because she's 20 years older than him.
Yeah, she is a
He
good
was
bit
hot
older.
when he took her, but is he upset now? Fuck, I should have thought this through a little better. Maybe I should have got myself a younger wife. Anyway, Ronnie Garvin.
Rugged. Rubbish. Ronnie Garvin.
Legit, hey, a legit shooter, a legit badass. For real.
His?
From
Fuck that
Canada.
guy.
But also fucking horrible.
Oh, he was.
His mic work was
Oh,
disgusting.
he was not a promo, but he was a solid. I mean, he was a good worker.
Yeah, but you poo-poo. Yeah, Roy, you can't poo-poo the talking part of wrestling. That's 85% of wrestling.
hey, some guys are good. Some guys need a manager. Some guy needs a guy to there's Bobby Eaton's one of the greatest workers ever in the ring, and he couldn't talk. He always had a manager.
And that's why I don't give a fuck about him.
Slick.
Slick.
Baby.
Ordained minister.
Slick's great. I like Slick. I like Slick. I liked he perplexed me as a child because I'd never seen a human like that before. And yeah, I'm A+ on
Slick.
I mean,
nobody actually asked this one that I found, but I mean, we're still way behind. You guys are not doing a very good job of going quick through this. Ultimate Warrior.
the total shits. I know Uncle John loves him because he was a kid at that time, and it was the right time for him to like it. Made more money as a pro wrestler undeservedly than anybody in the history. It was the total shits. If not for the Vince McMahon machine, he would have never done anything but been a roided up bodybuilder.
Speak to me, Warriors. Yeah.
I still think that Goldberg and Lesnar are worse.
No.
His out of his mind promos where you couldn't understand a word he said is still way better than anything Brock Lesnar has ever said. So, Roddy Piper.
One of the greatest, possibly the greatest heel ever, but definitely one of the greatest of all time.
My favorite heel ever by a margin. I
loved him as the good guy. My favorite Roddy Piper was the fucking babyface. Now, he was a great fucking heel, but when he turned face, oh man, it was so easy to get behind that guy because he didn't give a fuck. He was like basically the original Stone Cold. The bad guy, that was the good guy. I loved it.
Hey, and did
Paul
you know
Heyman.
Who?
Paul Heyman.
Fuck. Way up there for me as far as voices of pro wrestling and management and everything in between. Very high up there. He's not Bobby Heenan for me, but he's probably top 3.
Ooh, I'm impressed with his longevity. I'm impressed with the fact that he's still at his age and at his weight, that he's still out there doing it. Wouldn't put him top 3 though, but hey,
hate him. I don't want to listen to his voice. His haircut is his voice is worse than his haircut. Hottest diva of all time.
Sonny.
Vivian Vachon, you guys are all wrong.
Sonny.
Trish.
Sonny.
Oh man, Sonny. Like sunny side up, as in everybody had her for breakfast.
I don't give a shit. You said hot.
No, Vivian Vachon, you're all fucking wrong. Closely followed by Luna Vachon.
No.
Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah. Again, his wrestling career way before my time, but him as the voice and as the good guy to Bobby the Brain Heenan's heel.
Yes.
That was where I learned what pro wrestling was, by watching those two guys interact together.
Holy shit, we are way far behind.
He was great with Heenan, and he was actually a very athletic, great working big man when he worked. He was over 400 pounds legit. He could move.
Yeah, he was 6'8" too. Like he was a big fucking dude.
He was a big man.
Okay, quickly though, Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful.
Looked great. Good bad guy.
Kicked Big Van Vader's ass, knocked him out, beat him up in flip flops in the dressing room. Legit
Worked
tough.
well, legitimately tough.
Yes.
He just needed to have a little bit more character for him to actually made it.
He was one of the best opponents, one of the best money drawing opponents that Hogan had in his run as WWF champion. He was.
Vader was the next one.
Vader.
A better big man than Bam Bam.
No.
Yes.
Look, if you watch Vader, Cactus Jack, Halloween Havoc 94, excellent.
Watch Vader and Cactus, like with the ear.
I don't know if that was.
Well,
Yeah,
when Mick Foley walks off the ropes and he's like, "Oh, I got some
Yeah.
good juice," and Vader's like, "Motherfucker, your ears hanging off."
look,
Yeah.
Cactus Jack is down there, and Vader comes down, and you're like, okay, here we go. And Vader like grabs a chair immediately and starts to just fucking annihilates Cactus. And they go, and they're oh my god, the mask comes off in 2 seconds. Amazing.
Got his eye popped out of the socket against Stan Hansen in Japan.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus!
Brutal.
Pushed it back in, took his mask off and pushed it back in, and then continued the match.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Rhythm and blues.
Terrible gimmick.
A hunk of honky love. A hunk
Fuck
of
'em.
honky love.
Terrible
Get 'em out.
gimmick.
Get him out.
Fuck them. Oh, that was an arm wrestling question. Gross. Not listening. Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, never one of my favorites, but respect his fucking insanely long career.
Great athlete, super, incredible, for what he did and it's his size. I mean, top
He's
notch.
still going. He's still going.
His-
He just had a match on Monday.
His ability to get in the ring with the biggest, baddest dudes of every era
Yeah.
and just take those fucking giant bumps because he's so small that it's easy to fucking lift this dude 12 feet in the fucking air. Awesome. Love his career. We already did Mr. Perfect. Rick Martel. Hate him.
Wow.
Hate him.
He was a
Solid
good
worker. Couldn't stand him.
he was a good worker, and he was good. He was good as AWA champion.
We are 20 minutes behind in the chat, so let's do this quick.
I enjoyed him as a heel. Boom.
Tito Santana.
Arriba.
Only
Good
ever
work.
liked him when he was with Rick Martel, and I couldn't stand Rick Martel.
Tito Santana was a great worker, good guy, good intercontinental champion.
Bastion Booger.
Matador.
Bastion Booger.
No.
Pat. Ted DiBiase.
Money.
Great worker. It was between him and Flair on who was going to become the NWA champion back when Flair got his first run with the title. Like he was legitimately seriously being considered to be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion when that really meant something.
Fantastic in-ring work. Solid all around. Especially once he got the money gimmick. He really knew how to throw that in the face, and that laugh was fucking maniacal. I think he was great.
He was.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agree.
Chris Masters.
Well, the Master Lock.
I don't know much about him.
No, I mean he was fine, looked great, but
Shit. Here's my favorite. Doink the Clown, Matt Bourne. I love this guy.
Matt Bourne was a lunatic. I mean, he was seriously fucked up. But the gimmick was kind of stupid. But
I liked Mean Doink, Heel Doink. Now that's something I can get behind when he would like scare kids and stuff. Like that was awesome. Then they turned him into some weird sideshow thing with the mini clown, the mini doinks, dink, and all that crap.
yeah, but you had to love it when he finished somebody with the stump puller.
Yeah.
Matt Bourne was amazing. Doink the Clown was a terrible fucking gimmick that he fucking made into something. That dude is one of my favorite wrestlers of all times.
Wow.
Got it.
I think he's amazing.
Okay.
What else we got here? Hercules Hernandez.
He was he was good.
No,
Best work was before WWF. Sorry, it was.
yeah, his in ring was way better than his out of ring. He was a jacked up dude. He had the look, but his moves in the ring were fine, but he wasn't able to sell the crowd very well. So I'd
Not
pass on him.
interested.
I wouldn't be hiring. So Randy and Lanny Poffo.
Oh, we got to do this together.
Autofellatio.
So Macho Man Randy Savage and the Genius.
Y'all have heard this. Y'all have heard the joke, the story about Lanny Poffo, right?
No.
Autofellatio.
Oh.
You've never heard that story. Supposedly, Lanny Poffo could suck his own dick because he was so flexible and or had a big.
There's an
enough
arm
lip.
wrestler that could do that. There is video to prove that.
Well, we know it's not you.
Definitely not. And I wish I didn't know that this was true for sure, but I do.
You can't unsee it.
That's true. Randy Savage, fantastic in the ring, fantastic on the fucking promos. A fucking weirdo outside of wrestling. I just watched an hour-long episode of him sitting on a talk show, you know, like way the fuck back, but way before his WWE days. And he was just a creepy fucking dude.
He was very intense. He was very paranoid. He was mentally fucked up, and he became the Macho Man. Like he was that. He
Shawn
became
Michaels.
that. Shawn Michaels.
He's a
Go,
sexy
Uncle John.
boy. He's a sexy boy, and I think Shawn Michaels. I mean, there's a lot of variables, but goddamn, he's pretty close to A+ in my book.
Great.
He's the lead singer to Motley Crue.
Yeah,
He was one of the greatest in-ring performer workers ever. Didn't really draw as champion. Didn't draw a lot of money
No.
as champion in WWF. Was, by all reports, a real piece of shit human being. But supposedly now he's great.
Well,
So-
he was whenever he believed he was fucking the Heartbreak Kid, and then fucking he found Jesus, blah blah blah. His eye went lazy. All of a sudden, it's hard to fucking smash pussy whenever you fucking got a lazy eye. But he became a better person. But Mr. WrestleMania, it's really hard to go through matches of his and find where he was a shitty worker.
Never
And
won
he
a
was great
real.
on the mic.
Never won a real fight in his life. Bret Hart whipped his ass in the bathroom.
Well, I
man.
can't think of a guy,
this guy
that's
is
ever
the
wrestled that
smartest
wouldn't
mark
beat his
in
ass.
this room right now. Jesus.
Texas Tornado.
Oh, Kerry Von Erich.
You know?
Yeah.
My big
Don't say
memory
it.
of him.
he was a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
I can't believe you didn't say it because that's the only thing you could say about that guy.
I liked it when he teamed up with Warrior for a Survivor Series. Him, Warrior, and Legion of Doom. That's about as much as I really saw of him.
Demolition.
Road Warrior ripoffs.
So I didn't know that I agree with you, but I didn't know that when I was a kid. So I was like,
Nobody
these
did
guys are
when we were
fucking
that
awesome.
age. We didn't
Yeah.
know because they weren't on the TV and the Demolition was.
Right.
Road Warriors came in and they're the Demolition wannabes to
No.
the guys that were
Yeah.
didn't know that weren't around that.
Right.
But
But
they were a good team though. They were. Bill Eadie is a great worker. Barry Darso was great.
They
Oh.
were better than the Road Warriors at a lot of things. But if the Road Warriors didn't like the way you were working, they would make the match happen that way anyways. Fuck you. Where the Demolition were workers. There was no shooting ability with those guys.
I think Eadie probably could have shot a little bit if he wanted to. I think Eadie was for real.
Not the same. Yeah, put him in the ring with Hawk and see how that goes.
Fist fight, but shoot wrestling match is a different thing than a fight. But yeah, Road Warriors the greatest tag team ever. in
British
my
Bulldog.
opinion.
Cocaine.
He was great. He was great.
He did like to smoke a lot of crack.
He was great. The
Who
tag
was it?
teams.
Who was it that had to walk him through the match for the Intercontinental title
Brett.
over in London?
92. SummerSlam.
Because he was so fucked up and crack, he forgot the entire match. Who was it?
It was Brett.
It was Brett that carried him through that?
Yeah, 92 SummerSlam.
What a shit show. 1, 2, 3 kid.
He made a porn with China. I mean, what else can you say?
Xbox did that.
Yeah.
We're asking about the 1, 2, 3 kid.
That's the same guy though, right?
No,
No.
no, it's not the same guy. That's like asking you who's better, Kane or Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, but it is really the same guy. I don't.
The
really,
same guy did both, yes.
Yeah, Sean
But
Waltman.
1, 2, 3
right?
kid.
1, 2, 3 kid, I loved. I thought he was awesome. I came in, and that was a time where I was watching WWF with my dad, and I very distinctly remember that saga where it was him and Razor Ramon, and they were buddies, and then they ended up having a match, and blah 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 blah. Great stuff.
Loved 1, 2, 3 kid. Xbox, I couldn't get behind. It just wasn't believable enough. And this is during a time of unbelievable. I was fucking believed. I was sold on Kane being the Undertaker's fucking burnt to death fucking brother of the fucking dead Undertaker. Like Kane was fucking dead, burnt to death of the Undertaker who was never alive. Right. And I was more sold on that than I was on X-Pac. Right. 1, 2, 3 Kid, I did love though. Him and Doink had some fucking fantastic work done. King Kong Bundy.
Good big man, athletic for his marshmallow size.
Didn't mind him. Was intrigued as a child, but now I look at his stuff and I'm like, pass.
I look back at his stuff and think he was underutilized. I think they could have done so much more with the ability he had. Dusty Rhodes, hate him.
Yeah, baby.
One of the greatest of all time. Great,
Hate him.
great
So
talker.
So
Great
good.
Although
talker.
you could say it in this instance.
Great talker, and he booked. You know, he was a behind the scenes guy. He knew wrestling. I mean, he was.
Roy, go ahead and say it though, because it is.
Oh well,
Morbidly
my
true
God!
honest.
Come on, really? His matches with Flair for the title in the '80s. I mean, his matches against Terry Funk.
Yeah, way before WWE.
WWF was like the worst. The fucking polka dots and
Yeah, that
shit.
was awful.
Like,
That was the shits.
Sapphire.
Yeah, that was the shits.
Wow.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah,
But
Rick
you know
Rude could
what?
really
He
throw
fucking
down. I don't even know the Beverly Brothers. That is the first name I've seen that I don't even know.
They wore purple with silver and purple capes, I believe. And blonde. They were both blonde with blonde mustaches.
Frog him. We got to go quicker. We're still 20 minutes behind in the chat.
Let's
Nick
go.
Bockwinkel. Hated him.
Didn't really
Boring.
come across my plate too much.
As soon as I catch it up in the chat. Bad News Brown. That's one
Bad
that's
News
fun.
Brown. Dude, you remember the WrestleMania match where Roddy Piper painted half of his body black? And he was fighting Bad News Brown. Oh my God. Amazing. I love it.
Andre the Giant refused to step outside of the bus with Bad News Brown once.
Uh-oh.
But then he shit all over him in the ring. So, 50-50. Tatanka.
The Buffalo.
I think they pushed him way too hard. His abilities were not.
Yeah. It was similar with the Lex Luger thing, right? They push him really hard, but he just couldn't get the job done.
Like what they've been doing for 4 fucking years with Roman Reigns. Fuck's
Roman
sake.
Reigns is better than both of those guys.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
But Chris Benoit.
Oh,
I mean, awesome in the ring.
yeah.
Couldn't talk to save his life, but you know.
Great, absolute savage, great in-ring performer. Great.
Ruthless aggression.
Yeah, he was a badass.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he was really a killer if you think about it.
oh, geez. Roy.
Hey,
So bad.
there is a line, Roy. There is a line.
Oh, I'm getting told that by Uncle John, the fucking arm breaker.
Look, the Javelin Master. Look, all I know is that Chris Benoit was a fantastic wrestler.
Yes.
And I set my life goals basically on just to become better than Chris Benoit as a father.
Mission accomplished.
So far. Look, some nights get pretty close, so I'll tell you.
Hey, but you could have a really big finish and outdo him if you really think about it.
Does that make you a better father or a worse father?
I mean, if you did a YouTube video of cutting all your kids' heads off and
Okay,
something
Roy,
like that.
seriously, you are fucking going way too far. Way too far.
Play doesn't play, bud. There you go.
Yeah, leave it to Roy to be the one to go out of fucking bounds.
It takes a lot to top Chris Benoit. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's why we don't have Chris Benoit on the show with us right now.
That's one reason.
Fuck, Jesus, Roy. There's limits, dude. Limits. You are a fucked up dude. Okay, I'm getting a lot of repeats. I passed over a lot of shit. Ludwig Borga.
Oh,
Nobody wants to even answer that question, so I'm not even going to mention his name.
he had a scintillating program with Lex Luger.
Yeah. Hey, if anybody has the Ludwig Borga Hasbro figure, please send them my way.
Gene
Oh,
Snitsky.
Gene Snitsky. Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Gene Snitsky is the Uncle John of pro wrestling. He kicks babies and you javelin. You know? You guys are all going down on the record books for one thing that's not good.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, real quick, top 5, Mount Rushmore. John.
Singles wrestlers?
Yes.
No, just real quick.
Individuals. Hogan, Flair, Macho, Warrior.
One more. Stop looking at your fucking dolls. and just-
Piper.
Piper. Okay. So you got one that's a really good wrestler, and then you got a bunch of other stars. Roy, let's hear a real list.
Carl Gotch, the great Gamma.
Get the fuck out of here, Roy,
going.
with your bullshit.
Keep going. That's 2.
Flair, Fez, Harley Race.
Hate your list as well. I will take Jake the fucking Snake, Ravishing Rick Rude. I will take Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. As far as the new guy goes, fuck, what's the guy?
On his Mount
is his
Rushmore,
name?
I can't remember his fucking name. Amazing.
Japanese dude.
Shinsuke
WWF though,
Nakamura?
recently. Yeah, Nakamura. That dude's fucking incredible in the ring. Incredible.
Roy,
And although
are
I
you
hate,
with this guy right now.
I hate everything this guy says on the mic, AJ Styles is fucking phenomenal in the ring.
He's a great worker. Yeah. Not Mount Rushmore, but
What?
great worker.
Evan, I didn't think anybody could come up with a list worse than Roy's. And you
Right, but we've
fucking
already heard
blew
yours,
this
so
out of the water.
Clearly, your opinion is shit.
Oh my god.
Okay, you know
You
what?
guys are
I'm
the
going to end this
fucking worst.
nonsense because I'm not listening to you guys fucking bastardize what is real.
Jesus.
You know, you guys are going to start tossing around F words. Like, you guys are just sacrilegious. I hope that I can get Aussie Arm Wrestler on here next week and we can have a real conversation about actual wrestling and not listen to YouTube dipshits.
You think that Ozzy is going to agree with you? You're out of your fucking mind.
Well, look, we'll find out when we have this conversation. But if he doesn't, that makes sense. I mean, he hangs out with you a lot and, you know, he's Australian, so you can't really expect him to be intelligent. So,
You're not wrong.
He
look,
lives in a penal colony.
the three of us need to
Well,
hash this out and
Evan
figure
lives in a
out
penis
how to
colony,
do this
so-
fucking trivia thing that's not wrestling related because we can't have a host that's an idiot. But we got to sort out this fucking trivia because we want to do this show. And yeah, all the fans that are still watching, you should probably fuck off.
81 people.